Welcome back, everyone. I'm Pushpa, your host for the day of JLL Live here at Disrupt CRE in Chicago. And my next guest is actually celebrating a 20-year anniversary in supply chain and logistics solutions, right?
Easy for you to say.
I know.
Yeah.
I got Rich Thompson here with me. Rich, tell me what all that means. And congratulations, by the way. 20 years is a long time.
Thanks very much. Yeah, I think JLL is probably one of the first in the commercial real estate industry to invest and grow our capability to help our clients with supply chain consulting.
Okay.
And this is something that we tracked back to 1997 when we first really got into it. So it's been our 20th year here in 2017, and we're very excited and very proud of all of that.
And what does that mean in terms of, if it started in 1997, it's got to be a whole lot different today than how it was back then in terms of how companies address the logistics part of this, right? Yeah,
it's very much true. So it's our point of view that in order to be a trusted business advisor to our corporate clients on industrial real estate, plants, warehouses, and distribution centers, you better darn well understand supply chain. And the reason for that is that supply chain or logistics can make up 80% of the total operating cost of a distribution center. So from a real estate perspective, on industrial, it could be 3 to 5% of the operating cost, the real estate component.
Okay.
So it's very small. So the focus of supply chain professionals and our corporate clients is on getting that 80% right. Freight costs, labor, inventory, and then being able to pin that solution down to the ground in the right location. So that's why supply chain is so critical.
And I can imagine that, 1997, the internet was just starting. So forget about even having all these other tools and GPS, right? Like, what's that? So it must have taken forever, like a lot of guesswork, or was it just, even cell phones, not everybody had that. So it must be an amazing shift with technology on how people are doing that.
Yeah, it has been. And technology is really what's driven supply chain management as we know it today.
Okay.
So if you think about logistics has been around forever, and most notably in the military. So if you think about the Roman Empire, or even George Patton in World War II, it's all about logistics. So it's been around for a long, long time. But the advent of supply chain management, as we know it and hear about it today, really was caused by technology, by the World Wide Web, all the tools and technologies that have evolved since that time, which was in the 90s, early 90s, which is when I became very involved in supply chain. So it's being able to see that entire supply chain and have visibility across all those, what we would call traditional functional silos.
And make better decisions
because of it, yeah. So you're right, technology has had a huge impact on supply chain as we know it today.
So e-commerce is rising. The brick and mortar stores are really struggling, right?
Some of them.
Okay, true. What's the impact on the design and technology of industrial space?
It's a great question, and e-commerce has by far and away had the greatest impact on our business, on industrial real estate. We equate nearly a third of all of the transactions that are going on to e-commerce in some way, shape, or form. So it really has had a huge impact on the business. One of the things that I think is kind of the most interesting is that if you think about a traditional retail distribution center, and it has a footprint of, say, 1 million square feet, you might have 100, 150 people, for example, working in a facility like that. But if it's an e-commerce fulfillment center, meaning direct to consumer, and it's more of a pick-pack versus moving pallets around, you could have as much as 3 or 10 times as many people working in that same footprint. So that's a huge consideration, and that's very important to think about as companies and our corporate clients are making site selection decisions.
Right.
It's that labor component that's really taken the front and center.
And I know some of the companies like Amazon have those new robots, right, that end up going and they know exactly where the inventory is. And are you seeing that impact very much for other companies as well, or other industries?
A recent report that literally just got published studied some 1,100 supply chain professionals, and they found that the number one supply chain technology disruptor, robotics and automation.
Really?
Yeah, and we've seen it before. Amazon, who everybody knows, purchased a company called Kiva Systems, which is a robotic system to move product.
I have a friend who helped build it and deliver that. That's why I was able to talk.
Oh, that's fantastic, yeah. So that's been a real innovation. And if you think about it, productivity is key, and all of our clients are looking to be more productive in the distribution center. And when you have individuals running around trying to find the right products and get them packed and shipped, it takes a lot more time than having the robots bring them to you. And if you've seen some of these Amazon videos, you'd be very impressed. It's quite an operation. But as labor becomes tighter and labor rates go up, we're going to see more and more automation and robotics inside the four walls of the distribution center.
And what are the big supply chain milestones that you've seen over the last 20 years?
I would tell you, technology from, as we talked earlier, about 20 years ago with the advent of the web and all the other kind of tools and technologies that help create visibility across the supply chain. But from our business, it's been really exciting because we have focused our efforts on trying to help our clients speed those decisions and make more informed decisions. So as I mentioned earlier, when you think about site selection for industrial, it all comes down to freight, labor, and inventory, and then you have to pin it down to the ground with real estate.
Right.
So we have developed some logistics modeling tools that help look at freight cost sensitivity, which is one of the big cost drivers to site selection.
Right.
Help them weigh, different alternatives from a site selection perspective as it relates to that. We have some incredible labor analytics tools that can help pinpoint, where the right labor might be, not just from a rate standpoint or unionization standpoint, but from a profile standpoint. And we have other tools too that help with inventory optimization. And then we have some really sophisticated technology which we call Blackbird that help us fly in and swoop in on a market. And
that's got to give people incredible confidence in the decisions they're making now.
Yeah, it helps a lot.
Right?
And it's all about facts and ensuring our clients have the right information so they can make the right decisions. And that's what we're all about.
Well, thank you, Rich. I learned a lot, even in just these few minutes, about supply chain management and logistics and whatnot. So I really appreciate your time today.
I'm glad to hear that. Yeah.